the fellowship taking place, but I'm going to. I wish I had known some things and would have passed them on to you, but we're glad that you're here. And I think this is going to be a great presentation today. And all right, Jim's sitting up in the front row. If somebody wants to join him, that. But do I need to remind you that Easter is coming? This Sunday is Palm Sunday, and next Sunday will be Easter Sunday. So take advantage of all the things that are happening this week. And, you know, there'll be Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, and then Easter Sunday. So we won't meet next week because it will be Good Friday. Am I right? No, Scott and I are doing Monday, Thursday. And John and Paul are doing Good Friday. We kind of divvy it out. So stay in tune to what's going on this week. And I encourage you, if you haven't been doing anything for Lent, it's not too late to prepare yourselves for Easter Sunday. That it's a big celebration, and we know what it's all about. And so I encourage you, if you kind of drop the ball with your Lenten commitment, pick it up again and be conscious this week as we head into Easter. It's not just a big deal around this church, but this church does Easter well. This church does Sunday well. And so I encourage you to pick up on whatever you were doing, or maybe just decide that between now and Sunday, I'm going to be, maybe take some time, take a walk and reflect on your relationship with Jesus. Yes, ma'am. I haven't heard that, but I was away this week, so I haven't been here. Yeah. And I don't know what we did wrong that they aren't asking us to stuff eggs anymore, but it was probably Jim because he ate too much candy while he was stuffing the eggs. Yeah. So sign-ups are on the table. One big deal, and I'm excited about it. I learned about it this week while I was away. Guess who's coming on September 11th to kick off our new year? Rick Cavender. So we will have plenty of time now to publicize it and get the word out to the facilities, the forum, and other places. But we have Sachan Siv to thank for that. He was having lunch with him, and I don't know how the conversation went, but you know it's very hard to say no to Sachan, having been the ambassador to the United Nations. I call him Mr. President, and it's hard to say no to him. So I don't know what that conversation was, but he came to me and said, get in touch with Rick because I think he'll come back. And I did, and he's coming, and he's going to be here September 11th. Well, today we have a team. It is not the shopping network, but going to be suggesting some great things maybe that you already have or that you haven't thought of yet. Remind me of the initiative that you're working with.
It's called SALSA.
San Antonio Area Foundation, and then Successfully Aging. There it is. I can read. Successfully Aging and Living in San Antonio. Anybody aging? No? Okay, so I guess we can stop now and have lunch. And when I was talking to Sarah when she came in, she says, "Well, I sing in the choir." And I said, "I didn't know that. Did anybody know that? Anybody recognize Sarah?" I'm sure that, yeah, Nancy and Harold. So I'm just going to let you go with it, introduce your team.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. And I think they're all going to join us for lunch. So I think we will enjoy this presentation. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take care of that. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It is so nice to see you all. We are pleased to be here, our first church that we're presenting to. So happy to have reached the Keys Ministry. I will introduce us in a second, but just a bit of an overview. So we have a jam-packed presentation. We're shoving 90 minutes into 60. So usually this is, if you have a question or like an anecdote that you want to add, we will try and add that, because that's really great when we hear different things that y'all are experiencing and have ideas that you've discovered. But today, we hope that you go home with some new ideas and resources. We have a packed full table over here with some things that we're not even able to mention through our presentation. But the idea today is to think proactively. There are a lot of things we know we probably should activate and do something, just one thing in the home that we've been wanting to do. Well, today we hope you think and actually go do it, maybe, and give you some ideas that aren't so catastrophically expensive, some little things that you can do that are practical and lower cost. So just a little show of hands. How many homeowners do we have in the room? Okay. And how about renters or living in a residential, okay, condos? All right. So of y'all with that, are they actually like senior living facilities? So we have about 4, and for you, what kind of setting are you in? An apartment, so like a rental. Okay, cool. It's just good for us to know, because you have different options depending on where you're living. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it to start. So do you mind moving to the next? I'll just introduce my wonderful team today. My name is Sarah Davis, and I work for the San Antonio Area Foundation, and I am specifically with the initiative SALSA, for short, Successfully Aging and Living in San Antonio. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but I'll pass to Amy.
Good morning. I'm Amy Roberts. I am a real estate agent with Zest Realty Group, and I'm a certified aging in place specialist and a certified senior advisor. So I help people decide what their options are, and if they want to age in place, I want to help you do that. And if it's not the best place for aging in place, then I can source you a new one.
Very good. My name is Kendall Cox. I have an educational background as an occupational therapist and have worked in different medical settings. In the past few years, I have shifted to specialize in home modifications, mostly because of working with clients and patients in the past and being less than thrilled with the modifications they were receiving when it only included the construction mindset and not including the person or our bodies or how they move. And so my business is called Enduring Home Solutions, and anything from specialized medical equipment, durable medical equipment, all the way through to construction, any of those things, we specialize in helping people make sure that their home fits them really well.
This one? Yep. Hi, I'm Liana McNeil, and I'm with Rebuilding Together Austin, San Antonio. And we offer low or no-cost home repairs to income-qualified families and homeowners in Central Texas, specifically Travis and Bexar counties. Over the last year, we've helped repair 100 homes in the area, which is great that we can extend services at no cost to those that really need it the most. Thanks again for being here.
Okay, so just a little bit about how Salsa began. You might recognize Mr. John L. Santikos of the big movie theater chain. He left his entire legacy to the San Antonio Area Foundation to then funnel it back right into community. So we have a lot of great initiatives with scholarships and grants to nonprofits, as well as the SALSA initiative, Successfully Aging and Living in San Antonio. That is what Mr. Santikos wanted, a specific area focused on older adults. So we've been around for 10 years, and the way it works is we bring together our nonprofits, our government agencies like the city, the county, the Agency on Aging, and our for-profits like Amy and Kendall, and we are kind of a network to move the needle forward and align our work so that we can tackle some higher upstream problems. And one of the areas that we definitely identified is education on aging in place is lacking in the city, and where can people get this information or talk about this subject? So we've been doing these presentations out in community for the last 3 years now to great success. We have 4 focus areas that we have determined are essential for San Antonio, and that housing is what we're addressing today. But we also recognize that all of this is kind of interlinked, so getting around town with transportation is super important as we're aging. There are many issues with caregivers and support needed as you go down that path, whatever it may be, and especially today, addressing our how we stay connected to community and each other. So this program is a wonderful way that you're doing that. So today, we are hoping that you understand a few of the trends that are going on nationwide and around in aging, that you come up with some ideas or maybe a little plan that you can put into play after today to just do one thing that will make your space safer and more comfortable for you and your loved ones. Or the last one, learning about these resources. There's only about 20 of y'all here today, but I know you know neighbors and friends that this is helpful for. So I hope that you spread this information to them as well. Take as many handouts as you like, okay? And on we go. So, who has the mic?
I will. We just want to briefly go over some numbers just so that we realize that San Antonio is not unique in this. So by 2034, those that are 65 and older will outgrow those that are 18 and younger. So 77 million compared to 76.5 million. And that's a global trend that we're seeing.
Yep. I will move on.
This is specific to San Antonio, so the population change specific to our wonderful city between 2020 and 2023. You can see where the star is, that group is growing a lot faster than any of the others. So according to AARP, nearly 77% of adults over the age of 65 want to remain in their home currently as they grow older. Do you guys mind sharing, maybe just a few of you, why you, if you are choosing to stay in your home, your current place that you're living, why you want to stay there?
Mine is one level. I like that. But I've been in the home for 28 years. But it's one level. I like my neighbors. I feel safe there.
So it's easy to navigate, and you've been there a long time. You have a lot of memories, and you have a lot of connections and friends.
I just enjoy being alone as I'm getting older. And this morning, I just really appreciated the twilight out on my deck. But I realized when you were talking about things, it's dangerous out there because it has a privacy fence, and if I fall, and if this doesn't work, like Jim's phone checks when he falls down, that it's kind of dangerous, and I need some tips on safety because the deck is
good to just be proactive, like you're saying.
I like, I'm a gardener, so I like to grow flowers and so forth. So I enjoy being alone as well in my home. And once a week, I actually have somebody come and join me, and he is a part of this church now. And, you know, basically, we pray for different things that the church is about or we have need to pray for. So, but I really do like the neighborhood that I'm in. It's quiet. This is one street that they roll up the streets at night and nobody walks down them. So I'm happy.
Yeah, when you were talking, you reminded me that we're happy where we are, and change is really hard, right? So a lot of times it's easier to make small changes where we are. Per this research, just these are the top reasons that people want to age, and you can read through it, and you can probably see maybe where you would fall.
Amy?
Okay. All right, so aging in place, who's familiar with that term? Have y'all heard it? A lot of people don't know about what aging in place is. It's the ability to live in your home of choice safely and comfortably, regardless of your age or your income or the ability level, for as long as you're able. So, but in order to live in your home and age in place in your home, you need to be able to age in your community. And so that's what SALSA's doing. We're working to make our community an expansion of aging in place. You need to be able to get to your destinations and people pick you up and that sort of thing. So it's just a broader vision of aging in place, and it includes access to community services like transportation and support where you live.
So I just have a quick poll. What do y'all think, if you're not living in your home or your senior living community or your apartment, for those that are in institutional settings, what percentage of people 65 and up are living in a nursing home institutional setting, would you guess, in America right now? Can just throw out some numbers. We've got 30% here, 40.
I'm going to go low, 10. I'm going to play Price is Right. $1.
Price is Right. Okay. Anybody else have a guess? Well, y'all will be surprised. It's only around 6.5%
Price is Right.
are actually living in nursing homes. So everyone is living in their home or in the residence that they're choosing. And whether they're safely doing that, is questionable, but we're making do. So I just think that's astounding, because I also was in the 30% when I first started this, thinking that. Okay, so where do we start when we enter the home?
So who has steps to get into your house? Anybody? Any zero-step entries?
Like a no-step entry?
No step? Very few, very
Or just
few.
like a little threshold that you have to get over?
I have like 3 or 4 steps to get up into our house. It's just how they build them. But the ideal is to have zero-step entry to going into a home. And they're hard to find. I mean, this is the hill country, right? And so, but that's the ideal, at least to have one zero-step, whether it's your garage or your front. And it can look beautiful. It's universally designed to where it's aesthetic. And so that's the idea, is to be able to roll on in there into your house if you need to. Here's some examples of zero-step entry, or not, and some safety ideas. So at the top left, you can see the handlebar, the grab bar, to help you get up. And this one's nicely strategically placed so that when you come down, you're still able to use your dominant hand, or non-dominant, if you're carrying stuff. The one to the right of that, the big one with the front door, I like the front porch having either a table or a bench to have your Amazon packages put on, or if you need to take a break, walking up. so that you're not having to bend down and pick up your packages to carry in. And then also keeping things clutter-free. Watch the entry mats going into your home because you don't want to trip over those. The one where you see the feet at the bottom left has, it's hard to tell. Could be a step right there. And I go into homes all the time, and it's an optical illusion. It's like, okay, I can't see where the wood is going to start the next step, and that's very dangerous. And so putting some sort of a signal there, a different color of a strip on the end, or even a grab bar on the wall. As you're coming in, you can see it and know, okay, there's probably a step coming up, something that signals you. And then you can, the middle bottom picture, you can buy off Amazon, nice little heavy ramps that gets you into the house. Just measure the height of the threshold, and you can order that on Amazon. And then here's one that's smaller like that, just to be able to roll in.
The metal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of safety and just kind of visibility for your house, here are some really good options that we've indicated. You want to have really good visibility for your house numbers. So you'll see up the top left, it's nice big letters that contrast the paint of the house well. And then on the curb, you can find people that will come and paint the numbers on your curb. That's also a safety issue. If you needed to have emergency services come to your house, that's an easy way to identify the house number. One thing that we like to talk about is entry into the home in case of an emergency. So we have offered some options for that safety and security. Who knows about the Knox box? The home box. Great. Okay, one person. So we're enlightening the rest of you. The Knox box is a safety system that you can purchase at a home goods store or like Home Depot, Lowe's. I'm sure you can order them online as well. And then you let emergency services, the fire department, know that you have it so that they can access the Knox box and get into your home without having to break that door, the door lock.
Yeah, and so like real estate agents use a lockbox. You can also do that. Just let your fire department know. They put it in your their computer with your address and your name, and they'll have that combination there. And it's a cheaper version to do that. And tell them where you're putting it. If it's on the hose bib or if it's near the front door, just wherever, so they can go right to it and get in and get to you.
You want to tell them about the file of life as well?
Okay, and the file of life, it's on the bottom. Have y'all ever heard or seen the file of life? Some have. So that little guy saves lives. It's a piece of paper folded up in that pouch, and it goes on your refrigerator. It's magnet, and the emergency personnel know to go to your refrigerator to look for those things. And if you don't have a file of life, any paper, write it all down so they know. They always go to the refrigerator to look for it. But it'll have your medical information, your contact, your doctors, your, whatever's wrong. Yeah. Yes. And that way they can treat you sooner. So it's a smart idea.
So we have one for everybody to take home today as well.
And plenty to give to a friend,
Yeah.
too. So take what you need.
All right, what about these pesky doorways?
Oh, that is my number one pet peeve with builders and anymore. They're just making the bathroom doors 24 inches wide, and the goal is to at least have them 32 inches wide. Because if you're on a mobility device like a walker, they won't go through the doorway, or you're cutting it pretty close and you're going to shave your knuckles off, and we don't want that. But sometimes that's the way that the houses were built back in the day. You want to show them the hinges?
You really need a door.
It's heavy.
I call it an offset hinge. It's available at Lowe's. It's a hinge that fits just on your doors like you have right now. The difference is that right now, currently, when your door swings out, there's still a little bit of the actual door that is sitting in the doorway. This hinge allows the door to completely move to the side of the trim. And so what that does is it buys you about 1.5 or 2 inches. And
Yeah,
like
every
Amy was
inch
saying, that's
counts.
your knuckles, guys.
Yeah. And then you have other options like a barn door. So that's always helpful. And then you may already have lever handles for your faucets and your doors. Everybody can use that. Sometimes an arthritic hand or a full hand, maybe you're carrying groceries or something, it's hard to get in, but you can always use an elbow or, a fist to be able to get in there. So lever handles are really, really
Easy and inexpensive to have a handyman put in. The water closets, that's what we call them. A water closet that is very narrow, or a bathroom that is doorway that is very narrow. Doesn't seem like it. I know.
very cool. Go for it.
We just want to state the obvious, I think, is what we want to do today. So the idea of fear of falling is a real thing. And if people haven't had a fall, then the fear of falling increases. And if you look at this cycle, this is just the human brain of trying to stay alive and make good decisions. And so if you have a fall, you increase your fear of falling again. Part of what that does is, well, I'm not going to do that again, or I'm not going to move as much. I'm not going to give myself the opportunity to fall. Well, that leads to decreased activity. That leads to decreased muscle strength, endurance, and it just becomes a cycle. So with cycles, the first thing is to be aware of it and then to try to break it, right? So that's all we're doing today, is just letting you know that this is a thing and think about if it is something that you're encountering on a daily basis.
Who can guess where the most falls happen in your home? You got it. Bingo. So we want to talk about bathroom safety because, believe it or not, 80% of falls happen in the bathroom. So how can we make the bathroom more safe? Amy?
Well, this bathroom was digitally designed, so it has all the pretties in it. But see, now let's look at the shower, the entry into the shower. It's a 0 step, or curb-free entry into the shower, which is nice. It has a little seat in there so you can sit down and wash the bottom of your feet and give yourself a little break from standing if you need to. It has grab bars. It has the shower nozzle that is adjustable on that telescope grab bar there. It can be lowered. It has natural lighting in it. It also has, next to the toilet,
Toilet rails, or you can call them armrests. Really, that's what they are, right? But just something to help get up and provide stability and balance as you're moving from a sitting to a standing position.
So Sarah has a good example. This is, I got this on Amazon. It's a really strong magnet, but sometimes the water's just hitting you straight in the face, and who wants that, right? But you can get like this little guy. It sticks to the wall, and then you can just attach it here. So as you're sitting down, when you need to hose off all that soap, it's just right here within hand reach, so you don't have to try and get up, or it's dangling at the bottom shooting up at you. So there are nice little products out there like that. Who has grab bars? I hope everybody does. If you don't, now's the time. I have 80-year-old people telling me, I don't need them yet. I'm not going to fall. And, it's like we're at that age, especially if you take medication, that maybe you're increasing your risk. And, you never go back the way God put you together once you fall. And so prevention is number one. This one up here is pretty cool because it lifts up out of the way, and then it also has 2 different levels. So if you live with someone taller or shorter than you, you each have your own little level there. What's the difference between these two? Okay, so if you have neuropathy. A lot of times people with diabetes have neuropathy, and cold things, when you touch them, like a grab bar, like this metal one, it feels like a bunch of cuts in your hand. The one that's black, and it comes in all different colors, and you can have your favorite sports team put on it too. But it's wrapped in a vinyl, and it's much warmer. So I encourage you to feel the difference in it. I mean, it's not warm by any means, but it's certainly not as cold as what the metal one would do.
Real quick, my last thing about grab bars, just color, contrast. So the reality is that after the age of 45 or so, our eyes start declining, and we just need more light to see the same way we did as a teenager. You guys have probably all experienced that. So contrast becomes really helpful. The dark on a light tile is a lot easier to see than more of a silver on a tile. And then there are a bunch of different toilet heights these days. So knowing that you can get a taller toilet is always an option. These are very easy to install. It raises your current toilet that may be now feeling like a toddler toilet to you. You could raise it a few inches to make it. Yep, and the last caveat I will give is just to consider who else is living in your home. If you have somebody that is 6'5" and somebody that might be 5'1", consider that, because I have witnessed dangling feet on toilets before because we got really high toilets. And so anyways, just consider that. So these are more cost-effective modifications, which is a grab bar that does not have to be screwed on the bottom right, a grab bar that does not have to be screwed into the wall. This one attaches to the edge of the tub and just gives a little support as you're crossing over a tub. The top left is an example of clean cut. Here is our dollhouse. Does anybody have this? A tub in their house.
Yeah, who has a tub in their house?
Yeah. Hey.
Right, I think that's probably a theme. If you have a tub, you typically will not get into it because of safety concerns or issues. And so if you have a second option or a walk-in shower, that's your preferred. But this is a nice option. If you do have a tub and it's not being used or utilized well enough, then that tub cut is a nice option.
And you can actually save the piece of metal and put it back in if you're going to sell your house or something. So it's not like not forever like that.
Mm-hmm. And then just the bottom left is another option for, I'm going to use the medical term, it's called a transfer. When you're moving from one space across to another, we're transferring. And so this helps you to do a seated transfer into a tub, or even over a threshold, a small threshold for a shower that we commonly have. And that sometimes for some people can be just a safer option to just do it seated. This one I call the roller coaster, but it's a fun kind because it rolls on rails, so it's very easy to move over. Let's make bath time fun again, right? Just some other grab bar options for you to realize. Lots of manufacturers are realizing that they can be strategically placed. So the top left one is actually a toilet paper holder and a grab bar.
Top right. Yeah.
Sorry. My left, your right. It's all on the right.
It's all on the right. Yeah, there was a feature in the New York Times on grab bars. It was like, oh, this is where I got these images from.
Mm-hmm. A grab bar that is installed. Yeah. So these, they have screws, and anybody that is reputable in installing them will try to go into a stud. However, it is typical that one side will be a stud, and then because of where our stud links are, the other side won't. But there is hardware that is specific that you can add on to these, and then you can install it anywhere, and it doesn't have to have a stud.
We really discourage you from using any suction cup grab bars.
Yeah.
Just don't go that route. Why? Why?
Well, I wouldn't want to put my body weight on a suction cup. I just,
It's called physics.
And there's also a lot of well-meaning family members and friends that would put them in for you, but if they're not done correctly, then you could rip through sheetrock and still fall. So I recommend somebody like Kendall that can put it in correctly for you.
I have a great example. I was living in a 1930s home here in San Antonio, and there was a clawfoot tub in the bathroom. And my dad was over visiting, and he was taking a shower. Well, I didn't have any kind of grab bars installed, nothing to help to get out of the tub. And clawfoot, you have to really step out and grab onto something. So he grabbed onto my pedestal sink, and he ripped that sink out of the wall and flipped back into the tub. Thankfully, he was okay, did not hurt himself. However, that's a very dangerous and tricky situation when you're having to put your body weight onto something. It's so important to have a grab bar in this instance to make sure that you're safely exiting the tub.
Vanna. We all have rugs in our house, and so this is just all of our reminder to go home today and check the back siding of them and make sure that they are still in good condition, that they have a sticky back to them, and that if your dog runs across it or if you kind of push on it a little bit, it actually stays in place. And then our other Vanna is showing us, if you just love this rug so much, because I have some that I just love so much, there is adhesive tape that you can add to the bottom of them. And it is so adhesive that, yes, you will be selling the rug with the home when at the time comes. That was a joke. That's not real.
And the sticky will come back. So you clean it real good, you put it on there, and then you stick it on the floor. Well, you have to clean and you have to mop, and it's going to get wet and it's going to come up. But with a piece of tape, you have to rip it all up and get it more. This one, you just wash it off, and the sticky comes back when it dries. I don't know how magically it does it, but it does. But we all need a mat to get out of the shower and step on, and usually this one's from Walmart, and so it doesn't have a lot of substance to it because I paid $5 for it. So if you have something to keep it down with on the corners, that's what's going to keep you from falling, because you may not realize it, but it can easily flip up, and in your mind's eye, you're thinking it's only this big, when now it flipped up and it's much bigger, and so then you can fall. So anyhow, you're welcome to come try this sticky tape out. Yes, ma'am.
And I just want to say, I know we have lunch at noon, and we started about 10 minutes late. Are y'all okay if we go over a little bit after noon, or are y'all going to be? Just let me know, but we have a lot to keep sharing with y'all.
You just pull off the sticky and wash it, and then you can wash the tape and then put it back on. Eventually, you'll need to get new tape. I don't think it'll last forever. The other reason why I think it's also stuck is because I keep my cart in the garage, and I think part of the heat yeah. But you can peel off the top. I'm going to pass it around so you can get an idea what it's like.
Just make sure you look at the tape and that it's okay for wood surfaces and things like that. Just read the details, because I tried doing it on my old wood floors, and immediately, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh no, that wasn't a good idea. And I ripped it up and it took the varnish off. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. It'll say reusable carpet tape.
There you go. So how about lighting in the home? What is that all about?
Yeah, we spoke about the reality of our bodies, and the idea of having layered lighting can be really helpful. So I know it's nice to use the sunlight that's coming in because it's beautiful, it's made by God, and it's free. But it can get really hot during our summers. And so a lot of times we'll see us, we're all closing our blinds and covering the curtains. Just realize when we do that in the summer season that it's going to get a lot darker. So having different levels of lighting, overhead lighting, the cans or the fan light, versus beautiful back here lamp lighting, versus task lighting, which you turn on because you're reading a book.
Or cutting a carrot or something, chopping a carrot.
Chopping a carrot. Is that what's next, the kitchen lighting?
Yeah.
Yay! Many of you may have seen under cabinet lighting, and it feels very upgraded and very bougie. But we can all do that, guys, because on the right there is a picture there where you can see underneath a cabinet, and it is a rechargeable LED light that sticks up under your cabinet, and then you charge it just like you would your phone. They're showing it under the cabinets, and that's a great place, but I'm sure if you think about it for 1 minute, you probably have other places in your home where that would be helpful.
Like the laundry, she's saying.
laundry.
I put this in my pantry because I don't have a lot of good lighting in there. Your closets are, and it just detects right when you walk in, and it turns on for you. And it lasts probably about maybe 2 months, and then I plug it in for 20 minutes, and then I stick it back up, and it's a magnet. So, and it's sticky. You're not having to put a screw in.
And then while we're on lighting, just thinking about the pathways that we walk, especially in the evening and at night, when we get up in the middle of the night to go to bed, do you want to turn on all the lights in your room? For our eyes, that should be what we do. But nobody wants to do that because we want to go to the bathroom and then go right back to bed and not wake up our brains. So having motion sensor lighting that is near the floor that will see when you step out of your bed, you can place it maybe right near a nightstand, and it'll see right away and turn on. And then you can have a pathway. Think about, I don't know where y'all's bathroom is in relation to your bed, but to think through that.
They're very low cost.
Yep, battery.
And they stick on the wall.
Which one? The toilet? Oh. It is the light hitting the floor. It is. That makes it look like a wave. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you don't want the light to hit you directly in your eyes, and so that's when it's showing that it's
Casting down. Because, when you look at the sun or you look at the light, you get all of the light sprinklies in your eye.
And the red light doesn't interrupt your circadian rhythm. It helps keep you asleep longer versus the bright blue light.
Yep, just quick kitchen ideas. If transferring hot pots of soup or chili become difficult, think about using a kitchen cart. You can place it directly on that and then use the wheels for that. If you're looking at new appliances to purchase, think about having the controls closer to you so you're not having to reach over with your blouses. Everybody know, well, men, you don't wear blouses. So you don't have to reach over and potentially get into the food or the chili. And we also think about balance. Things that you use most often, put low. So think about that as far as storage and organization. And if you need to reach something high, use a sturdy step stool and throw things. These are really nice to have. You were speaking about laundry earlier. If bending over to get laundry out of washers and dryers becomes difficult, grabbers are really good for pulling. It's just a very awkward position to get things out of dryers. These are all able to be purchased after market. So these are things you can add to your current drawers. You don't have to put them in all, obviously, but be strategic and think about which spaces would be really nice to have.
Has
the
anybody
items
put
come
drawers in their cabinets? Anybody have them? Yeah? Do you love having it? Is it helpful? Drawers instead of the cabinet. Right. Yeah, now they put a lot of drawers in kitchens and new kitchens. Yeah. Okay. And then the handles, yeah, okay. keep going. So how can we kind of do an assessment?
Yeah.
What do y'all recommend?
Yeah, we actually have a few checklists here on our table if you're interested in looking through it and seeing what is out there for ideas, things that you have thought about, but there are probably things that you haven't thought about. So if you would like to go through that yourself, it's available for you. If you think you want a more objective opinion, then me and Amy both will help. If you want to have us come in and kind of review your space and review and assess you as well to make sure that you're fitting in your space well. It may have worked for somebody else, but does it work for you?
All right, so I have logos up there of Amy and Kendall. Those are their two, Enduring Home Solutions and Sprightly, and then Liana is Rebuilding Together. They all are in this business, helping with aging in place. Just so y'all know, if you have any friends or neighbors that are receiving Meals on Wheels, they actually have a program called Comfy Casas that does home repairs, and they can do some nice additions and modifications in their clients' homes. The city is also ramping up, trying to do better at their minor repairs. And if y'all are familiar with the Area Agency on Aging, known as ACOG, they have a number called the Alamo Service Connection, and for all income levels, if you're looking to have help with repairs, you can give them a call and see if they have funds available. Because I think they get a certain amount each year, and once it's gone, we wait till the next year. But you might get in and get a free grab bar. And CPS Energy, we just learned about this. Has anybody had them come out to check on weatherization and energy saving? They come out and do a free assessment, and I hear it's a great program. Oh, a lot of emails? Yeah. Okay. Well, it might be worth checking out. All right. And just to briefly bring up technology, it is all the rage. Wanting to just kind of see, has anybody adopted using any smart home technology in their homes?
Miss Karen has a watch.
Yes. Okay, the watches, and that is for like fall detection, staying connected. You can call people, keeping track of your health. Okay, very nice. And
Feel safer having that on you. That's good.
all right, let's go to the next one. These are the fun smart home technology pieces that I like. So has anybody tried putting the ring or the little keypad to get in the house? You have a ring? Okay. Does it give you any peace of mind, or? Yeah? You know where everybody is all the time. Yeah, you get alerted. How about you? Yeah, so you have sensors placed in the home. Well, I'm hearing good things about these keypad entries, and you're able to have different codes for different caregivers or grandson or whoever's coming over. But the neatest one is this August smart lock. If you can see, on one side is the regular key. The other side is controlled by a battery power and Wi-Fi, so there's both backup in there. And you can open and close that door lock on your own control. So if you are not home and you need to let someone in from the inside, it works. Isn't that neat? And it's only about $150 to install it. So I think that's pretty neat. And also just highlighting for safety, the light bulbs that will automatically come on your porch near your garage door. Has anybody put those in place? And they have smart ones now, smart bulbs that you can program to come on at certain times. So I did that at dusk. It would come on and then be off by the morning, and it just gave me peace of mind knowing that I had light on. Using Alexa to connect it all. Yeah. Yep, there's a lot of nifty things you can do.
I was just going to point out, if it has a little bubble on it, then it will come on automatically. The little bubble on the light bulb. So that's how you know.
Okay. All right. So, here you go, Liana.
Now that you know a lot of the details, we've left you here enlightened, I hope, or at least given you some tips. We just want you to understand and realize that you are in control. And the key here is giving you that knowledge and power to choose how you want to live out the rest of your life. So Karen said she prefers to be alone, but what does that look like in terms of safety, and how can she keep herself safe but comfortable in her home, living solo? And that's the reality for a lot of people these days. Women are living longer than men, but in general, we're all living longer. And so how do we keep ourselves safe and comfortable in the homes and spaces that we want to be in for the rest of our lives? So we want to empower you to make those choices for yourself and not have somebody else make those choices for you.
Yeah, it's interesting. The living solo or solo agers, there's different terms for it. It's astounding the numbers and how high the percentage of people, it's 20% of people 50 and up are living solo. And when you look at 75 years old and older, 50% are living solo. So SALSA is trying to address this population a little better of what are extra supports that we can help provide to the community. So that's one of our areas we focus on. And to address that through housing, we are encouraging home sharing. Has anybody thought of having someone live in your home with you? Or have you had a renter? It's hard to give up your privacy, and it's not for everybody. So it's just, we're trying to put together a little more of a formal platform that people can be connected with a potential renter, be it a grad student or a young professional looking for affordable housing. I got to do that in my 30s with a woman in her 80s, and it was a really wonderful time for me, having that relationship and that mentor in the living situation for me. And she gave me a great deal on rent. And so it could be an awesome solution for companionship, extra income, all of that. Just giving a little plug.
The city actually has a program for income qualified homeowners. If you own your land and your home, they are offering a reimbursement program for a portion of a new build for an additional dwelling unit on your property. So if you have space on your property and you're thinking about, can somebody move in with me, but I don't want to necessarily let go of my privacy, but I want to make some extra income or passive income, it could be an opportunity to build something on site that either you move into or have renters move into. Somebody from your family could come in if anyone needs a caregiver, or if you're a caregiver for somebody else. It's just a nice option that the city has promoted just in the last 6 months as a way to, one, build some wealth on your property, but then kind of invite somebody into your space without letting go of that privacy.
Does anybody have an ADU at Casita?
It's dilapidated.
Ah.
Does it count?
Yeah. But soon to be, will you renovate it, or what are you planning to do?
I know. We have ideas.
Okay.
But
it came with the house.
We have ideas inside our current house before we're ready to go there.
Did anybody else raise their hand on that, having a casita? Okay. So just quickly wanted to throw these two resources at you. In addition to having your fall detection with your iPhone or iWatch, if you're using that, these two programs are very, very low cost or free to have like a daily check-in. And this is for people, especially living by themselves. And you just want to give a peace of mind for your family that you're totally fine. Like, it's for yourself, really. You get a daily little ping on your phone, and you check the box and say, all good. And it's just, and no one gets alerted. It's just your knowing that you're good. And if you don't check in, that's when they send a little message to your emergency contacts and say, Karen did not check in today. You might want to call her. So these are really cool. We love Snug Safety. That is for the iPhone or the smartphones. Check-in B, you can use it just through texting. So you don't have to download an app or anything. And we have information on the side over there. Okay. So we just want to quickly throw a little bit of transportation at you, since this is another very important piece of staying connected to our community. And the statistic is very sobering that I'm just going to tell you, is that we outlive our driving ability by 7 to 10 years. So we have to figure out a way to get around if that's the case. Not everyone, but it's one of those realities. So what are ways that we can get around? We're going to share a few, but also if you are still driving, here are a few little tips that we have. Amy and Kendall.
Yeah. I'll be.
All right, so we have a couple of neat little toys here. Have y'all ever seen this? Yeah? No? Yes? Okay, so do you see on that top left picture that gentleman trying to get in or out of his blue car? This goes down in the latch where the door shuts, and it's a grab bar, and you can rest as you lean down and sit, or you can use it to help get yourself up out of the car.
And it's the perfect height for where we want it. Oftentimes what we do is we put our hand on the top of the window or the top of the door to help, but those doors move on us unexpectedly. And it's also really high. You're kind of like a monkey trying to climb up and out.
Yeah, and then it just lifts right back out, and you can put it in the pocket of the door, and you'll have it for the next time. So it's a nice little size. Do some of you have trouble reaching your seatbelt? Maybe the reachability is hard. If so, we have this nice little doodad that the seatbelt lays in here and it fastens down, and all you have to do is grab the handle and pull over and buckle your seatbelt. Anybody want to take a guess as to what this thing goes to? Yeah, you can't answer. It's for your gas cap. Sometimes it's hard to unscrew the gas cap, but this little guy goes in there, and now you have a lever. So that's a nice little handy thing. All these, again, on Amazon. And then sometimes getting in and out of the car is difficult. And so you can sit on this Lazy Susan like seat. So
if I'm getting
Vanna,
into the car, right, I sit down, and then it very easily glides over.
So, yeah, that one's a little higher. I noticed when I sat on it, I was like, oh, I'm up a little high. I had to adjust my seat. But they do make some that are thinner. My mother loves it, but she's shorter. So
that's what I was going to say. They're very comfy for your tailbone.
yes, it's true.
And if you need a little bit of extra height, which I'll say in the afternoon, we all do, because we all get shorter throughout the day. It's the weight of gravity, weight of the world.
Okay, I just wanted to throw out a few resources. So there are community transportation options. These are nonprofits that offer rides for a very minimal price, if not free. And in this area, this would be Ride Connect Texas. There's a flyer on the table over there, and it's, I believe, $5 one way. And so that's a nice option to get to medical appointments or any engagements that you might have. And Northeast Senior Assistance, that's also in the Northeast quadrant if you're in that area. So there you go. You can see where they're serving. So unfortunately, they're not outside of 1604 yet, but we're hoping that we get some more support in this area. This is just really nice to know that this is available. Okay.
Are these all scheduled in advance?
Yes, schedule in advance. Mm-hmm. And I also want to let you know about an online service resource directory. How many of y'all know about SACRED? Few? It stands for San Antonio Community Resource Directory, and it is a handy-dandy place to put in your zip code and look for whatever you're trying to find. And local resources will pop up. It's regularly edited and updated. And I am very pleased to tell you that in the next month or so, there will be a special portal on SACRED just for older adult resources. So that is one of SALSA's projects that we're very excited about. And we'll be out in community letting people know about this. So we also have some other nifty types of people that can come help you with different things. Do you want to share about those?
Yeah, I mean, we've touched on it already, but I'm a certified accessibility specialist, so that means that I have done extra training and schooling and experience in the field in that. And so mine is from USC. And then, why did I forget your name? Amy.
We only work together all the time. I'm a CAP specialist, an aging in place specialist. I can come in and do home safety assessments also. She would do all the remodeling part of it, though. Okay.
But yeah, I
And-
think just like today, education is power, right? Understanding and then being able to move forward confidently. And so that's what Amy and that's why we are in the city of San Antonio, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. We feel like in our past that people didn't have the information and they couldn't make confident decisions, and that's a really yucky place to be, at least personally for me.
Yes, and other specialists that exist are these senior move managers that will help you take a 5-bedroom home of 50 years and bring it down to 1 bedroom. They are really good at it, and they will even take pictures of exactly how you want your cabinet to be, and they'll do it in your new smaller space. So they exist here in San Antonio, and as well, senior care managers. Just to throw that title out at you, that is someone who kind of is a mediator, knows about how to navigate benefits, and works with your family to explain and kind of be your advocate. So just in case you might need a little extra.
Yeah, I'll just add an objective opinion lots of times in families can be very helpful. We've had an aging care manager, a senior care manager. They're kind of trying to figure out their name.
Aging care manager, yeah.
We've actually utilized somebody to come and help us. We have a family that's very involved, which also means we have a lot of opinions. And so someone just to kind of help us get through all the weeds to find a confident decision.
So as you are working through some of these issues, or if you notice that you need some help, working with some of these specialists puts you in a better spot to find vetted and reliable contractors. If you're looking for people to do this on your own, a lot of times you'll run into issues, or you'll find maybe a lesser cost option that may put you in a tougher spot down the road. So, working with these specialists is a better way to make sure you're getting the quality, maybe a higher cost option, but a better quality option that's going to last longer. And that is just a more credible and reliable resource.
And I'd just like to add, we are also in the accessible home space. We're trying to advocate for homes to be built with these wider doorways and with at least one entrance without a step. Working on the universal design ordinance, that's some of Salsa's work. But we also are in the real estate space and trying to educate our brokers and realtors that homes that have accessibility features are actually value add. So if you're on the fence about, I don't know about getting rid of my tub because a family of 4 will want it after me, nope, there's going to be somebody else who wants that beautiful shower that you did. Just know that right, Amy?
That's right. That's right. And remember, we talked earlier about how many older adults are coming.
Yeah.
All of our boomers are going to be 65 here in the next couple of years, and we're going to have more older adults than younger. So your house is going to be needed.
I have 2 more slides for you. This is something I want to just put out to First Presbyterian Church. So there is a wonderful nonprofit organization called the Impact Guild, and they have an initiative called Faith in Housing in Good Acres. There's a lot of names, but just know Faith in Housing. They are starting a cohort that is focusing on housing in these 4 different areas, and they're wanting to recruit some people from the church that signs up to become a housing navigator, knowing all about the resources for the congregation to know more information, but also in case the community around the church needs some information. So there are 4 different tracks, and you can focus on maybe just one and educate. So have workshops here at First Pres on housing and get people, the younger generations, to learn about some of this information. So I just want to say that if you're interested, I can give you more information, or I want y'all to know about it. And the last fun thing, Part of our social connection initiative is to host these generations dinners. And I don't know if any of y'all have heard about this, but it's basically taking a table like we have here and bringing 3 to 5 generations around the table for a dinner with a facilitator also included. And you go through various, like, pretty easy to answer life questions, and everyone shares and listens to one another. You get a chance to just kind of bridge into those younger generations that you probably have some stereotypes and stigmas attached to. And by the end of the dinner, you're pretty surprised by what these young ones are saying. And they are surprised also by what you have shared. And everyone kind of leaves feeling hopeful for the world.
Yeah, no, it really, I was kind of going, I don't know, left so uplifted, really good experience.
And Amy brought her mom.
I did.
Yeah, that was so fun. So we have one coming up on May 4th, and it's a smaller dinner, but I do have 4 spots that I wanted to offer to y'all if you're interested in attending. So please let me know, and we can get you there. It's really fun. All right, y'all. Aging is so cool. Everyone is doing it. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, ladies, for spending so much time with us. I hope that you will take advantage of the best lunch in town.
I'm sure it's my best lunch this week. Yep.
And I'll just ask if there's 4 tables, I think. Are we using 4 tables? So if each of you could sit at a different table, that way we get to interact with you. But this has been good. This has been good presentation, and just so happy that you were able to come and spend time with us. Thank you for having me. Oh, glad to be here. Okay, let me pray, and we'll join together for lunch. Father, thank you for the information that we have been blessed with today. Thank you for these ladies, for their personal connection already that we feel. And just pray that you be with us as we get together around tables for lunch. Ask your blessing on those who prepared, those who will serve, and the fellowship that we will share. And give us a good time here today. And pray that you would keep us ever mindful of what season we are in, and prepare us for what is coming in this week and Easter Sunday, and give us opportunity to celebrate that as well. Go before us. Thank you for what you do in our lives each day. In Jesus' name, amen.